What's up, guys? Check this out. This is 2024 Chevy Equinox. This is the RS trim, which in my opinion is the most interesting trim on this model. I gotta tell you, the Equinox, yes, the workhorse that you can find at pretty much every rental agency, every fleet, is the second most popular selling vehicle after Chevy Silverado. Yes, you probably didn't know that, but that is true. Now, this is the RS trim. This is the little bit sportier looking, a little bit brighter, a little bit fresher, and this is what Chevy's doing with it. Try to revive an already aging design and make it more appealing to some people. Now, we'll get to the pricing and the specs later on in this video, because today, thanks to Gettle Chevrolet in Punta Gorda, Florida, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check out what's underneath the hood, the design inside and outside, and at the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin with me together. So if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and smash that notification ring bell so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And now, let's get back to this. As I mentioned in the introduction, this is one of the most popular vehicles on the road. You see them everywhere, mostly the lower end trim levels, and that's because they start off at the very affordable price. They're very inexpensive to fix and maintain, and they provide lots of room and actually a pretty good driving. Now, I drive a 2018 Equinox. Well, it's a fleet vehicle. It was provided to me by my company, and I put about 60,000 miles on this vehicle in about a year and a half. So I have a pretty good idea of how it handles, how it drives, and I'm going to compare this to this brand spanking new one. But before we do that, let's take a look at the design of this vehicle. I actually like this hood. It's a little bit different than what I have on mine. I guess they sculpted it up a little bit more. You have the two indents on the side, a little line in front, in the middle right here, and then you have this huge lights. Now, they're all LEDs as far as the headlight right here, the daytime running lights, and here's your turn signals. Now, the turn signals are still, you can see the little incandescent light bulb inside, and then on this RS trim, you get this piano black grille, black Chevy bow tie, and the red RS badging on the side, which makes it look really, really good. I really like this red tri-coat color. Now, let's pop this hood and let's see what powers up this thing. So here underneath the hood, you'll find a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged and intercooled engine producing 175 horsepower, 203 foot-pounds of torque, made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Nothing very unusual about this engine. I gotta tell you though, I've been driving this vehicle for quite a bit. If you put it on cruise control, I'm getting about 36, 39 miles per gallon, which is really impressive for the vehicle its size. Now, underneath the hood, you'll find a sound insulation, and it is propped up by this prop stick right in the side. Quite frankly, I don't know when was the last time that this vehicle was thoroughly redesigned. I want to say 2017 or so, so it's definitely showing its age, because you've seen this shape, and if you haven't, I challenge you, look around you, and I'm pretty sure that you will find one within an hour, maybe on the road, something if you're driving. Now, I do like what Chevy did with this RS trim. You can see all the window surroundings are nicely blacked out. You also have the black roof rails. You have the black bottom portion combination of the mirrors right here, black Equinox badge, and the black 19-inch alloy wheels, and this shiny color right here. Now, Hankook tires, 235 by 50 is the size of the tires, front and rear suspension. It's the strut and multi-link suspension. Of course, the all-wheel disc brakes right here. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Now, as far as the size, you're looking at about 183 as far as the length of it, 62 and a half as far as the height, and about 72 inches wide. So it is technically a compact SUV, or maybe a CUV, because it doesn't sit as high as some of the SUVs like the CR-Vs or the RAV4s, or even the Mazda CX-5 or CX-50. But overall, it doesn't look bad. Now, I do think that it needs a little refresh, and maybe we'll get it for next year. Now, the Equinox is also coming up with the EV version of it, which looks quite a bit different, so maybe that's going to be the indication of where Chevy is going with this design. But overall, doesn't look bad. It's got tons of features. Look, you got the turn signal, it's got the camera right underneath here, blind spot assist. Now, we'll get to the pricing because it is not standard. You have to pay for it, and quite a bit, to be honest with you. But before we do that, let's see if we have in the cargo space. Here's the remote that you'll get with this 2024 Chevy Equinox, which is the same as pretty much any other Chevy for the last maybe 10 years or so. Now, let's take a look at the design right here in the back. What I like is these fully LED taillights right here. That includes the turn signals. Now, unfortunately, as far as the reverse lights, they're still the incandescent ones. You have the third brake light right here, windshield wiper or window wiper, black bow tie Equinox all-wheel drive RS. Nothing special about this bottom portion right here, and if you were to tow something, it is rated up to 3,500 pounds towing capacity. It does have a power lift gate, so let's open it up and I'm going to show you how much room you'll get. And it's not bad. Actually, you get about 30 cubic feet of storage behind the second row seat. And if you fold down the seats, you'll get about 64 cubic feet of storage. So not bad at all. Now, it's a 60-40 split. It's pretty easy, kind of spring-loaded. So it folds down nice. Nothing really inside of here. Oh, well, I could have done it through here. I didn't even know that. So you can unlock the seats from the side here, which is very convenient. And underneath here, you'll have a little bit more off storage space. And let's see, and underneath here you'll actually have a spare tire. Now, this is temporary use spare tire, but it is there. Now, this is what you have for cargo. Let's see what we have for passengers. And before we get in there, I'll give you a close-up so you can see how nice this red tricoat color is. I haven't mentioned that like 5 times already, but let's take a look. See the back door design. Now, this is nicely padded with the soft material. It has some contrast stitching right here. This is hard plastic. You have the window control, of course, your door handle, a little bit of storage as far as the bottom of the door, and you have the speaker at the bottom. And if we go inside of this vehicle, you'll see that the seats are nicely covered with leather with some contrast stitching. I mean, they're nice, they're comfortable. This is not something that you get standard on the RS trim. You have to pay extra, and I'll tell you all about it once we talk about pricing. You also have the armrest with the cup holders that's folding up, down right here. You have your own vents in the back, which is a good thing. You also have 2 USB Type A ports, and down underneath here you have an actual household power outlet. Now, both seats, driver and passenger, also have the seat back pockets. Now, let me get inside and see how much room we have. Been driving an Equinox for the last year and a half for work, and I have never sat in the back seat. So it's good to know that I could fit behind myself if I was sitting as a driver. I'm 6 feet tall. I have enough headroom, shoulder room. I have enough knee room. Yep, I have about 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit more, before I would hit the back of the seat. This is adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm going to check out what's going on up there, but let's take a quick peek right here. This vehicle also has an optional panoramic sunroof, so look how much light it gets inside. But it also drops down this headliner right here. So even with the panoramic sunroof, I definitely have enough room. Now, of course, let's check out the sound of the closing door. Boom. Not bad. I'd probably give it about 5 or 6 out of 10. Definitely heard better. But let's take a quick look, see what we have. So you still have the same nice padding right here, hard plastic lock, unlock, window mirror, door locks control. You also have the opening for the rear gate, and you can set it up at maximum 3/4 or off like most of the Chevys do. Bose stereo, this is an upgraded stereo on this vehicle. Equinox right here on the door sill. You have the power controls for the driver's seat, and then you have this nicely trimmed seats. Again, you have some contrast tubing, you have some contrast stitching, and this is how the interior looks like. Let me jump inside and I'll show you the rest of it. And here's the interior of this 2024 Chevy Equinox. I gotta tell you, it looks very similar to my 2018, which mine, by the way, it's not fancy at all. I think it's just a regular LT model. But let's get this started. Let's get it lit up and let's see what's going on in here. First of all, I like this. This I don't have on mine, and I think it's a really nice accent. This is some soft materials, both as far as the top right here, which is leather trimmed, and the bottom, which is the same trim as you have on the sides of the door. You have your regular glove box, and then on the inside you also have this trims that basically the same color as the wheels on this car. This it's not black. If you look at it, it's kind of dark gray and shiny. It looks pretty good, actually. You also have this optional 8-inch screen. Kind of wish that that was a little bit bigger, but let's take a look and see what else is there. Now I can see something right here, but I don't see a head-up display or anything displayed in here, so we're going to play with some features, see if we can turn that on. Now the light control is on the side right here, so here's your dimmer and then your regular lights, and of course the steering wheel can be tilted and pulled out or pulled in, so it's tilt and telescoping wheel. Black Chevy badge right here, and then you have a bunch of buttons, and I've been using those buttons quite a bit, especially my cruise control. And like I said, I put this on cruise control. I go about 75, 76, sometimes a little bit more, but you know, that gives me about 36, 39 miles per gallon, which is great for the long drives. Now okay, we're going to talk about the drive in a little bit. This particular one also has the heated steering wheel, and on this side you have basically controls of what's going on in this tiny little digital display that we have in the instrument cluster. So let's take a look. As far as the instrument cluster, right hand side you have a speedometer, left hand side tachometer, right on top you have the gas gauge and the temperature gauge, and then this tiny little display right in the middle. Let's see what's going on here. So right now I have one of my phones connected to it, so I'm going to show you on the big screen. He also has the navigation, phone settings, and then we can go back to different media and information screen, and then we can also go up and down. So if you want different trip meters, fuel information. Now right now, fuel range 346 miles, oil off 98%. Here's one thing that I've always been having problems with this vehicle. It's this densing tire pressure gauges. It shows up the front right low, the rear left low, and then it kind of goes around it. So I just never had time to check it. Average speed, 28.3, speed demon right here in the parking lot, and then back to the home screen. So it does have the range that's displayed right here, also the direction that you're going. The vehicle's got 2,351 miles on it, and let's take a look at this infotainment system. As far as the infotainment system, now that's definitely where Chevy could do a little bit better, and maybe they will. They have some nice screens on the new GMs that are coming out, the 11-inch screens. Now this is still an optional 8-inch screen. So let's take a look. As far as the home screen, this is what all the new GM and Chevy will look like. And so you have your audio, phone, navigation. Let's see if it has the built-in navigation. Nope. So you can get started and subscribe to the navigation system if you'd like to, or you can use wireless Android Auto. Check this out. I connected my phone through here, and then you can have your regular wireless Android Auto, which is really nice, a huge plus. I'm a big Android Auto user, so if you have Apple, you probably use Apple CarPlay. A similar concept, and basically whatever is on your phone gets broadcasted right here into the car, and you don't have to learn the new navigations. And if you're like me, in addition to driving the company car, I drive a lot of rental cars, so I'm in and out of a different makes and model all the time, and it's nice to have a system that I know how to use and don't have to learn about it. Anyway, so go back to this main menu, and we're gonna hit this Chevy logo to exit. So you have users, settings, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Now you have the apps that are available. You can download some. We have an account that's not set up here. Let's take a look at the camera right here. Here's your rear view camera. Here's your top down view. Beautiful. I don't even have that on my car, but this is really, really good. Now this is your front view camera. I'm sorry, I was thinking about the rear view camera. Now we're gonna have the rear view camera right here. And then again, you have the top-down angle in case you are towing something. Then you have the side angles. Here's for towing specifically. Your main view right here. Really like it. Very good quality. The screen could be quite a bit bigger, but the quality of camera is probably one of the better ones in its class. So we're going to take that out, and let's see what else we have. That's it. OnStar services, Sirius XM. Now the Bose stereo sounds actually pretty good, but because of the YouTube copyright issues, I can't really present it to you, but you gotta take one word for it. Sounds good. So right here you have the Seek track, back, volume, and power, which a lot of people like. I do like my volume and power knob right here. You can turn off this automatic start stop feature, hazard lights. You have the vents on the sides. Okay, this is where you start your vehicle. This looks exactly like it did on my vehicle. So you have the automatic climate control, and you have the heated seats, both on driver and passenger side. And you have a bunch of shortcuts as far as the climate control. Down below you have the USB Type-C, USB Type-A, auxiliary, and the regular 12-volt outlet, the cigarette lighter style. I have the parking sensors. You can turn those on and off, and you can turn on the all-wheel drive. This is not automatic, so you can put it in all-wheel drive mode or take it out of it. Now the shifters, again, it's the same thing as we have on mine, except mine doesn't have any of the fancy stuff like this. So you have the little RS mode in here, and the regular shifter. This is what we have. You have a little bit contrast stitching right on this leather wrapping, electronic parking brake, cup holders, bit more storage right in the middle here, and then scrolling up, regular mirror. No home link here, and right up on top you have your sunglasses holder, OnStar, SOS. These are LEDs, pretty cool. You can open up a portion of this sunroof right here. Actually gives you quite a big of an opening here. You have the windscreen. Close it up. Is it one-touch operation? It's still opening. There you go. All right, let's close it. One-touch operation, and then one-touch operation for your sunshade. That is pretty nice. You have the illuminated mirror, and this is it. This is how the interior looks. Well, let's talk about the pricing and take it for a spin. And of course, before we take it on the road, let's take a quick look and let's see what these vehicles are listing for. So this is one of the reasons why there's so many of those Equinoxes on the road, and it's very low starting MSRP, and that starts at $26,995 for the LS model with the front wheel drive. If you want an all-wheel drive, you're going to spend another $1,600. The LT is the second from the bottom. That's what I have for work. That starts at $30,890, well, quite a bit more. And then again, this is a front wheel drive. Now the RS front wheel drive starts at $32,345, and then there's also a Premier front wheel drive starting at $33,195. So might not seem like bad pricing, right? Especially if you compare it to like the CR-Vs or the RAV4s, you know, they can get into the 35s, 36, and 37. But here, I'm going to show you something. The MSRP of this particular one, I'm not sure if you can see it, $39,590. Whew. $39,590 for Chevy Equinox seems steep. Let's see what we have. Standard vehicle price, $32,550. Now we have the all-wheel drive model here, 1.5 liter transmission, 6-speed automatic, RS leather package, $1,580. That gives you that Bose stereo and the nicely leather wrapped seats. Power sunroof, $1,495. Safety and infotainment package, that includes this heated steering wheel, USB data ports, 2 front console bin, power outlet, Chevy infotainment 3+, 8-inch diagonal touchscreen, voice recognition, Bluetooth audio streaming, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto compatible. You also have the radiant red tint coat color, $495. I think that's money well spent. Chevrolet infotainment 3+ with navigation. That kind of redundant here because you pay $495 for something that I think should be included in that $1,200 package. And then the floor liner package, you see the floor liners in the back and right here underneath me. So that's a total MSRP of $39,560. Now that is still not as much as some of the top-of-the-line RAV4s and Honda CR-Vs, but it does seem very steep for a Chevy Equinox for some reason. Now let's take it for a spin and see how it drives, see if it's any different than what I have. And I'm going to do it in the front wheel drive. I don't have any drive modes here. There's no drive modes anywhere to switch, so it's going to be one drive mode, right? First of all, I just want to see how it turns. So let's make a circle right here. I'm so used to this vehicle. Put so many miles on one like this that it feels very natural. It does have a very tight turning radius, and I have to tell you, I like the suspension. The suspension is kind of in the middle. It's not very soft and it's not super stiff. So it absorbs the bumps and the imperfections and the roads nicely, but it's not floaty like you'll find on some of the vehicles. You know, we have a couple speed bumps here, so let's see. Okay, you can feel it, you can hear it. As far as the engine, this 1.5 liter engine, you can definitely hear it, especially when accelerating. We're going to take it on the road and see if we can do like a bit of an acceleration test. Now it's 8 seconds, it's rated as 8 seconds. It's not very exciting, I've done it many times. It takes you up to highway speeds, it does take a little bit. Okay, we're stopped, let's go. Hey, we have some front wheel spin. We're at 40. I'll just leave it at that. We're at 50. You know, not bad. Very similar to what I have on mine. I think it's the same engine. I haven't really done much research on the 2018, but it feels very similar. It will take you quite a bit to get to the highway and cruising speed, but once you get there, I mean, it's all fine. So depending on what you're looking for. Now, this is also in range with most of the vehicles that are on the market right now, like the Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, as far as the 0 to 60. So unless you're going with a turbocharged Mazda, you probably won't get much better performance than this. And another thing that really attracts people or companies to the Equinox is the low cost of maintenance. And I can say it firsthand. You know, I've had this vehicle about a year and a half, about 60,000 miles or so, and other than regular maintenance, I haven't really done anything. It hasn't failed me once. I had a flat tire a couple times, but you know, that's to be expected. You know, if you drive a lot, you're going to pick up some screws or nails or stuff like this, but that's it. And you know, this tire monitoring system that displays, you know, different tire each hour, you know, that's probably faulty. But other than that, I mean, the engine drives strong, it runs strong, the transmission never failed me, you know, none of the other components. So I'm really happy with the way that it performs. And if you take it to a regular, even non-franchise shop, anybody can work on the Equinox, versus, you know, some of the other brands might require some specialty tools, specialty equipment, so it might not be as easy. Another thing to mention is that the seats right here, those leather wrap seats, are much more comfortable than what I have as in my company vehicle. So this is something that, yeah, you'll pay extra, but if you do a lot of driving, it might be worth it. I don't think I can convince the company that I work for to give me something with this equipment, but it would be a nice change. So guys, this is a 2024 Chevy Equinox, the workhorse of America, one of the best-selling Chevy in their lineup. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you found it helpful and learned one or two things. And if you did, then I've done my job. Then show me some love and give support to the channel by hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn on that bell notification ring bell so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And until then, I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.